Five. What a way to make a living. Crypto is on the rise, making that dough in the crypto paradigm. Watching it go, buying low, selling high. Riding the wave, I'm here to stay, living in the digital age. No banks, no fees, just decentralized. It's crypto paradise. Ooh. No banks, no fees.
All right, what is going on, Crypto Paradise fam, friends, and degens around the world? It's your boy Web3 Nate here, flying solo tonight. My esteemed co-hosts are enjoying a little R&R in the U.S. Happy Labor Day, everybody. In the U.S., if you are celebrating, last week there was a holiday in the U.K., Banker's Holiday or something like that. So a lot of the Western nations getting a little break from the 9 to 5, a little break from the grind. Hope you get out today if you're in the U.S. A little barbecue action, some time with the family and friends. And if you are so inclined, get out there and do a little research into the crypto, because we are getting some, in my opinion, cycle, best opportunity in the cycle that we're probably not going to see again until the bear market, if ever, deals on some tokens right now. Let's actually go ahead. We'll take a dive straight into the markets and see how things are doing. It's been a little rough. Seen a lot of tokens here. We got Bitcoin ranging all weekend, ranging between kind of the 110 and 107 areas there. Again, markets looking a little shook, a little weak. Nothing out of the ordinary for a market like this. We've already seen multiple 20 and 30% drawbacks so far this market. I think right now we're coming into where a lot of people look at is the golden zone, the reload zone there between the 618 and the 786 pocket there. Holding up real nicely right on that 68 there. TA works sometimes. pretty good looking bounce. Now, how long it's tested at 1, 2, 3, 4 times now? How long is that going to hold? A lot of people talking about a bounce here before at the beginning of September, but most of them calling it a bull trap. A lot of the people talking about 116 as the magic number. If we get up and start closing above 116, a lot better chance of a return to the upside back into new all-time high territories. But until then, probably more sideways and down for at least. Again, in my opinion, September into October. Rate cuts due in September. A lot of volatility probably going to come in this month. The rate cuts might be what bumps a Bitcoin from the low hundreds back up to that 116 range. Is it going to be enough to send us, back to new all-time highs and get this bull market back in action? That is kind of the big question on everybody's minds. Y'all know where I sit. I think the longer we go sideways, the longer we range here, the better for the long run of this cycle. Better chance of us going and busting through 200K and beyond, as well as just getting an extended cycle past. If you are like us and, not in this for a quick flip, but a serious long-term opportunity to change your life, to change the lives of those around you, take these dips as a gift. Even if we go into a bear market right now, I'm all the allocations I'm in, all my high conviction plays, I'm happy to sit on them. I won't be happy, maybe not the right word, but prepared to sit on them till the next cycle comes around, DCAing the whole time, filling up bigger and bigger bags. So that's kind of the mentality we take here at Crypto Paradise. That's the mentality we recommend that you take as well. DCAing and hodling is always the best strategy for the long run. Ethereum here, same thing. Ethereum kind of seeing a little bit of a double top coming in potentially, but also could be seeing a higher low put in here, a little bit of positive structure. But again, if Bitcoin breaks down, very likely to see Ethereum continue to follow. Most alts are getting pretty murdered. Some of my top favorite alts here, Super, looking not great. Coming back down looking like it might retest this low that was put in all the way back here in June of this year here, a little bit earlier this summer. Solana actually doing all right. Again, continues to set higher highs and higher lows, looking to potentially put in another higher low here as well. However, if we are going to see Bitcoin dominance continue to drop, at least in the short term, and alt's pumping a little bit, if we see Bitcoin drawing down, going sideways, consolidating through September and October, I think that the altcoin run is going to be short-lived, and we'll see most of the top alts retracing as well. Obviously, if you've been following this channel for any time, I'm not the TA guy. I happy to look at general market trends, but not a caller on the macros for any of the top alts, Bitcoin, etc. Mr. Hellman, the Hitman, will be back tomorrow, taking us through charts live here, giving us a little more understanding of what's the TA saying. I'm just regurgitating info I hear from trusted sources on the internet, which is what you guys should do as well. You should be out there doing your own research, gathering information from multiple sources, including Crypto Paradise, but not exclusively Crypto Paradise, and putting together your own thesis on what you think the markets are going to do, and making your bets according to your own risk tolerances. So before we jump into the stories for the day, obviously the title, a lot of FUD going around with quantum computing. Been in the news, nothing new here. We're going to cover a little bit of that today. What's going on? What new breakthroughs are happening there? Should you be worried? Are the quantum computers coming for our bags or not? We'll cover that in a minute. First, a little bit of housekeeping. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in here. Looks like we've got 30 people watching at the moment. Thank you for tuning in. Please give us a like, a subscribe, share, tag a friend. All that helps the algorithm to promote the stream, get us more followers, which gives us the power to bring more to you guys. Things like the Frontier Fund that launched, started trading round 3, the Trailblaze round. We raised just about a little over $700,000 for that. Out there blowing it up last week. I think they made 3 or 4% last week alone. And that just keeps compounding. Their goal is to hit, I think, a little over 2% a day, which sounds wild, but came very, very close to that in round 2. Round 1 hit that. So round 3, these guys are, just chugging away. We talked about it last week. Even if these guys only hit 15% a month for the 2 months back to back, for that the fund cycle lasts for, that's what most people are looking for in a year. Most people in the traditional markets, if they got 15% in a year, would be ecstatic. So if you want to find more about that and other opportunities with the Surf DAO, with the Crypto Paradise community, go ahead and hop in the chat on Telegram. Lots going on in there. Great place to learn, educate yourself. We've got lots of giveaways going on in there. We just wrapped up the Tordes $25,000 airdrop. That is going to be starting distributing today. Thank you for everybody that participated. Congrats to the more than 50 winners that'll be splitting that bag. If you are one of those winners, and you have not received a message from Danny, our community moderator, or if you have not talked to him, he's messaged everybody that he can. A lot of you guys need to message him to kind of keep things safe. We don't want the whole never will DM kind of a rule to be broken. But anyways, if you haven't contacted him yet, you need to do so we can confirm your wallet address and begin that distribution. For those of you that have confirmed with Danny, expect to start seeing funds transferred here over the next 24, 48 hours. We've got our guys working on that, and we'll be sending that out here before too long. So again, shout out to everybody. Big shout out to Tordes. Thank you for being a huge supporter of the Crypto Paradise channel and our community. Thank you for the community members that help support Tordes. Again, none of this is possible without you guys. So thank you for that. Tomorrow we will be back full force. We'll have a full crew here covering the covering the latest and greatest in the crypto markets. We'll have Mr. Hitman in here doing charts, back to scheduled programming as per usual. Today, this is a story that I found interesting. I've been following for a while. It's not a new story. It's something that has been, especially really picked up steam in the bear market here. Quantum computing. A lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. A lot of rumors going around. What's going to happen when quantum computing hits the world in full force? Is it going to rob all of our Bitcoins? Is it going to relegate the blockchain technology into the dustbin of forgotten technologies, into the dustbin where 8 tracks and CDs lie, where cassette tapes and boom boxes have gone to their long awaited graves. So a lot of people are very, very terrified. What happens and how close is quantum computing? Horse, pretty popular trading and alpha channel, asking realistically, how far off are we from when quantum computing becomes a problem for crypto? I think this is a bigger boogeyman. It's one of the biggest boogeymans out there for quantum computing because, yes, if quantum computing does hit, it has the potential to disrupt blockchain, to hack Bitcoin's blockchain, as long with all the other blockchains out there, more or less killing crypto, killing this industry. So, relevant fear, but how relevant? I think there's some great opinions that have come out here. Obviously, got a lot of great trolls and getting a response out of these 60 IQ crypto Twitter G-Gens. Shout out to my that 60 IQ crypto Twitter G-Gens. I'm right there with you. Now, this is obviously a very technical subject, and I am very non-technical, but I'll do my best to kind of explain how I understand the situation, what the risks are, and how worried should you be. So, a couple of great. Let's go back. A couple of great posts on this. First and foremost, we've got different opinions going back and forth. This, in my opinion, is the most important thing. It's irrelevant. The entire world runs on the same cryptography, banking, teleco, military infrastructure, etc. It would all fall to pieces if broken. Anything we do as a society to protect against it would also be done in crypto. If we fail, your coins don't matter anyways. So the reality is, if and when this becomes an issue, if and when quantum computers become an issue, it's not just an issue for crypto. It's an issue for your bank account. It's an issue for the nuclear codes around the world. It's an issue for any sensitive government data, telecoms. Every single piece of technology that we have today has the same cryptology backing it that can be disrupted by quantum computing. So, your Bitcoins, are your crypto subject to loss or disruption if quantum computing happens? Yes, but so is everything else. Crypto market cap is like less than $4 trillion right now. There's so many other bigger targets out there, and the security for blockchain, and very likely the technology that's going to fight back against quantum computing, meaning the defense against quantum computing, is going to be blockchain, crypto, and AI related. Not going to be your traditional bank. Not going to be the everything is up for grabs here. Crypto is going to be one of the last things, one of the hardest to go after. It's where the defense technologies are going to be developed quicker. So is this a massive threat to the world of crypto? Yes, it's a massive threat to your bank account. Also, it's a massive threat to the stock market. It's a massive threat to everything. So, it's one of those existential threats we can sit and worry about. But the reality is, if this does come to fruition, if this does become a real threat, it's a threat to everything, our entire way of life as we know it. It's going to change literally everything that we do. It could send everything back to the Stone Age. In other words, not something you should be worried about. Nothing you or I can do about this, unless you are tuning in and you're a leading quantum computing scientist in that industry. Then, do what you can to save the entire technological infrastructure that our entire societies are built upon. So, overall, I think this is a silly thing to get in the weeds and argue too much about and to fret over. Because it's not just crypto that's going to be affected. It's literally every aspect of our lives if you're using technology. Unless you are you're Amish, bro, you're safe. More power to you. You got nothing to worry about. For the rest of us, it's everything. It's not just crypto. So I wouldn't niche down your worries on this. I would, continue life as usual. If you're going to panic sell your crypto because you're worried about quantum computing, you might as well liquidate your bank account. You might as well liquidate your stock portfolio. You might as well get rid of your cell phone, your computer, everything else, because all of that is going to be exposed as well. So unless you're ready to go become Amish, not something you should really be keeping you up at night. Kind of a counter opinion to this, John Galt chiming in. NSA, which invented the SHA-256, which is the cryptography that secures blockchain and Bitcoin and our bank accounts, etc., no longer uses it. because of quantum vulnerability. They have upgraded to quantum resistant cryptography. If it's no longer good enough for the NSA, that's a bad sign. Now, there is some truth to what he's saying here. The NSA is under the process of upgrading their systems. However, those upgrades are not set to go in. They're being rolled out over the next 10 years. They're not set to be fully in place until 2035. So the NSA clearly don't see this as an immediate tomorrow threat, but something they are working on for the near future. Mr. Cockering, a notorious crypto villain, weighing in here. Credit where credit's due. Not really a big fan of Adam. In fact, I didn't know he was still doing a crypto LARP. I thought he'd moved on. Last time I saw him make a video, he was doing like outdoor survival camping and stuff. I thought he quit crypto. I don't know. But credit where credit's due. Nice little thread here. Obviously, I think he went and punched himself into Chat GPT or Grok here and came up with a good bit of information. But he does make some valid points here. In terms of the limitations of the current technology, what is being worked on for the future, what the countermeasures are within crypto, as well as the traditional tech infrastructure, and even in a bit into the physical limits of technology due to the constraints of physics as we know them now. So, starting out the state's big case here, unless there are major breakthroughs, probably 20 years out from anything, this being a threat. And that is also assuming that we don't make any more advancements on cryptography in terms of securing against quantum computing, which a lot of the tech out there, it's like any other arms race. The offense and defense are constantly battling back and forth. You get more powerful bows and arrows, you get more powerful body armor. When you upgrade to cannons and guns, and you get, it's been a back and forth offensive and defensive weapons for all of history. So there is work being put in on both sides to advance quantum computing as well as to defend against it. So it's not as if, our asses are completely hanging out in the wind here. But right now, it says quantum computers are physical qubits, and IBM has one that's around 1,300 qubits. Physical qubits are imperfect and can't run a long algorithm because of the noise compounds so much over each step that it becomes irrelevant. Now, again, you could, if you want to research all this technical jargon there, you can. More or less, he's saying the current technology is not capable of doing what they would need to do to make any of these attacks possible. The best machine we've ever seen stably run with logical qubits was 1 qubit. IBM's ambitious roadmap to reach 50 to 100 logical qubits is by 2030 to 2035. To implement Shor's algorithm for cracking key pairs, in other words, to hack into to Bitcoin, hack into crypto and disrupt things, requires a minimum of 2,330 logical qubits. So, 20 to 40 times. 23 to 46, almost 50 times what IBM, one of the leading quantum computing researchers, is planning on being capable of doing in the next decade. That's assuming zero error rate. Quantum computer doesn't work like that. It won't have zero noise because of its statistical outcomes. It's a paper by Grassel, Lamberg, yada, 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 estimates to have logical gates capable of running the Shor's algorithm, you need 20 million logical qubits. That's a lot. We are very, very, very far from that. I mean, it's trillions of physical qubits underneath. And even if you're talking about running it for days uninterrupted to compute a single hit. Again, right now, they're able to operate these things for a very, very, very short amount of time. The amount of power needed to run these is enormous. It's a similar what we're seeing with a lot of the AI foundations and companies. They're looking at launching their own nuclear power plants to generate the power needed to handle the AI computations that they want to be able to run in the future. So, a lot of physical and technological deficits that need to be overcome. That entire massive machine needs to run at negative 459 degrees Fahrenheit to offset its own heat. Even after all that, you can just convert your key pairs into a lattice structure, because actually breaking a SHA-256 itself is rather than the key pairs would be an even harder requirement. So unless we make material science breakthroughs or suddenly figure out how to remove error rate noise, which we think isn't solvable on a fundamental physics level, then we're good. So, does this mean we're completely out of the woods? No. Does this offer a little peace of mind at least over the next decade here? Very likely. Is it something that I'm concerned about? No. Big points to remember here. Number one, if it affects crypto, it means it's also affecting every other aspect of our lives. The banks, your telecoms, meaning they can hack into everything on your cell phones, all the sensitive government data, the nuclear codes, literally every aspect of our lives. So again, shout out Amish, you guys are safe, but the rest of us, if this happens to crypto, it's going to happen across the board. It's not going to be an isolated incident. So we're talking about a fundamental change in our entire societies and lifestyles. Not a reason to go flood your bags, not a reason to go sell your Bitcoin any more than there's a reason to go sell your stock portfolio or move out into a cabin remote in the woods somewhere and go completely off the grid. And point number two, I would definitely encourage you to go read through Adam's post here and click on Grok. Use the AI tag, man. That's what it's there for. It's going to pop up with me instantly, just going through, going to start explaining stuff, breaking it down. If you don't understand physical qubits, or you want to find out, how much of what he's saying is correct, or how are logical qubits different than physical qubits, so on and so forth. If you want to do a real deep dive on this, the paper written by these guys, that's what these powerful tools are for. You should be using them in every type of research that you're doing, whether that's, calming your fears over quantum computing, or researching your favorite meme coins, your favorite altcoins, your favorite, tokens that you want to ape into, or looking up recipes. Stop using Google, AI, ChatGPT, Grok. They are leaps and bounds ahead. And you can absolutely scale up your game. Here post by Horse, great answers given by some people. Shout out Diabolique, shout out John Galt, shout out, I can't believe I'm saying it, but shout out the Cochran man, Adam Cochran, as well, for some very interesting stuff to discuss here. So I don't know if that's something that interests you guys or not. I don't know if any of that is something that's been on your radar, something you guys are worried about. Maybe I just put a new fear in your head. Congrats. Sorry about that if that's the case. But good to educate yourself on these kind of things. Not something, in my opinion, should be keeping you up at night. But let's see what else is going on in the world. Got a couple other stories here. As always, Jamie Dimon out there fudding, has been fudding Bitcoin forever. We've talked about, meanwhile, in the background, they're buying Web3 assets. They are seeking to launch their own stablecoin. JP Morgan, very, very active in the space, despite what the face of the company, Jamie Dimon, has publicly been saying. But overall, anybody that comes out in the traditional market saying Bitcoin's a scam, it's used for money laundering and buying drugs and blah, blah, blah. The number one asset for my entire lifetime and my parents' lifetime, and since pretty much World War II, that has been used for all criminal activities, from drug running to human trafficking and everything in between, funding arms dealers, funding genocides, funding wars around the world, is the freaking US dollar. That is such a nonsensical, hilariously bad argument. Oh, people use Bitcoin, people use crypto to buy drugs or to commit crimes. It's on a fraction of a fraction of the magnitude that people are doing these same acts with, and have been doing these same acts with, by the US dollar. The other side, the flip side, not the IRS, it was the Secret Service, who handle the counterfeiting of money, handle a lot of financial crime aspects. They said that blockchain is a gift to them. It's a public, transparent ledger where you can track things down at ease. The ability it's given them, for good, bad, or otherwise, to go after financial criminals, to go after acts that they deem against current financial laws, is a million times more powerful than the tools that they have to go after with the current financial and banking system. So these arguments are always hilarious to me. The Wall Street Journal covering your Chinese money launderers are moving billions through U.S. banks. Black markets for U.S. cash may have driven as much as $312 billion in illicit money flows through financial institutions. Like this has been going on year in, year out, month in, month out, week in, week out, day in, day out. All criminal activity, the vast majority of criminal activity around the world is funded via the dollar. So Jamie Dimon can shove it. What else? A lot of people bearish on the old corns at the moment. Not Mr. Grant Cardone. Mr. Grant Cardone has been very bullish, big supporter, a big proponent of crypto. Grant Cardone, one of those self-help kind of internet guru type guys. I think he does some real estate and other stuff like that. I don't exactly know how he's accumulated his fortune, but Grant Cardone's announced he's going to be selling his $43 million oceanfront Miami home to buy 400 Bitcoin. Hey man, that's putting your money where your mouth is. There's a lot of people out there right now talking about Bitcoin, talking about the crypto revolution, talking about how you should be diversified and buying. How many of them are actually, putting their money where their mouth is? And we know a few, Michael Saylor, obviously the big names like that out there, but yeah, shout out Grant Cardone, putting his money where his mouth is, leading from the front, and risking it for the biscuit, or risking it for the Bitcoin in this case here. And kind of circling back a little bit, like we talked about, looking at the charts a little bit earlier, what is in store for September? Well, a lot of people talking about a bounce to start the month here. Most of those people that are calling for the bounce also indicating that it's most likely a bull trap. So be cautious, be careful. We'll get Nick the Hitman on tomorrow to evaluate a little more what the charts are looking like and get his opinion on what does he think about that. But very likely, according to Mr. Benjamin Cohen, one of the great Bitcoin TA guys out there, shout out into the Cryptoverse, good YouTube channel, makes a lot of great posts on crypto Twitter as well. Hinting at very quickly seeing a Bitcoin dominance bottoming here. As you can see, very strong long trend line here, and seeing a bounce likely in September and October. What would that mean? Well, we're going to see very likely ETH surge to new local lows, as well as the alts follow, bleeding out through the next couple months here. So prepare yourselves for that. Whether that means if you're a flipper, if you're a trader, maybe taking some, getting some back into some stables so you can buy lower. If that means you're like me and you're just looking for more opportunities to DCA, you might be getting some gifts here in September or October, but definitely going to be a very volatile and interesting month here in September. Markets are looking weak, but we do have a very, very likely rate cut coming middle of this month in about 3 weeks here. So let's see what's going to happen. Not a time to slack off. Got to be locked in now more than ever. It's also starting the crypto event season, the crypto conference season, especially out in Asia. There's a ton of massive conferences. Bali, CoinFest in Bali just wrapped up, I think, a week ago. There's a big conference in Japan. There was a Bitcoin conference in Hong Kong last weekend. In about 3 weeks, we have Korean Blockchain Week. Right off the back of that, we have one of the biggest conferences, if not the biggest conference in the world, Token 2049 in Singapore. I believe after that, there is a couple other. There's Thailand has one in October. Or November, maybe it is. I believe India Blockchain Week is in November. Then there's a bunch of events going on in Dubai. So between now and the end of the year, there is a ton of action happening in the crypto space with conferences. This time of year for a lot of people gets very, very busy. A lot of deals going to be getting done. A lot of exciting updates going to be rolling out. Going to be our feeds are going to be flooded with a lot of interesting speeches. It's about the time last year, or was it 2 years ago now? I think it was last year, where Murad made the scene. Yeah, it was definitely, I think it was last year, preaching Bitcoin Jesus, or excuse me, meme coin Jesus, with his whole spiel of on meme coins and SPX. Guy, notoriously got a lot of people wrecked in the last year. But for those of you that held on, I think those bags have come back somewhat here in the last year. So, but that's the kind of stuff we see coming out of these conferences every year. There's one or two speeches that blow up and send a new trend into the stratosphere. So who knows what we're going to be seeing out of the events. I would definitely be locked in. Going to be a big September. Major conferences upcoming, rate cuts upcoming, Bitcoin dominance looking like it could rip back up here a little bit, sending alts lower. Who knows? But keep it locked in right here. Our goal is to help you educate yourself, get out of the 9-to-5, and get to your own crypto paradise, wherever that may be. That's all I had planned for tonight. A relatively short stream as I'm flying solo here. But appreciate everybody that tuned in. We'll be back tomorrow, same time as always, right here on Crypto Paradise, bringing you more educational content, the latest news, alpha, some charts, and more. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave us a comment, give us a like, give us a share. Jump in the community on Telegram. That's where the latest and greatest is going to be. That's where all those alpha opportunities are going to be. If you join the Surf DAO, there is also other opportunities like the Frontier Fund coming available to you guys. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you on the beach. I'm out.